Welcome to PaRANTing. It's a podcast about kids that kids shouldn't listen.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to the
What
party.
Is up?
Right? What?
Happy Saturday.
Did you say sad today? Are you sad?
No. Saturday.
Ah, fair. Okay, so there's
Yeah.
just that. I thought you were like, oh, I'm so sad today. Happy Saturday.
Be kind of like weird to say happy sad today.
Happy sad.
Happy sad.
We're late today. Sorry for those watching the live feed. There were
Yeah.
some technical difficulties that we have since overcome.
Look at us overcoming things.
Das ist guten. Das ist
Das-
guten.
But we made it. We're here. This is, if you've made it to episode 7, then you know what this is all about. So,
Yeah, or at least you're willing to like pretend with us.
yeah. We appreciate it. Either way, we're just happy you're here.
Well, yeah. We're happy that we made it because I was like, oh my God, are we actually going to do the episode this week? Oh my God. So,
Yeah, a bit of a struggle.
I was having a little panic attack, but it's okay. We got there. We made it. I just wanted to let everybody know, like we do at the start of every episode, that you can follow us on Facebook. So facebook.com/PaRANTing. We're on Twitter. It's twitter.com/ or at, either way, whichever way you want to go about it, PaRANTing Pod. Instagram is PaRANTing Podcast. Snapchat is PaRANTing, but we still don't know how to use that yet. We have one. You can follow us so that eventually once you figure it out, you'll get stuff.
Hopefully we'll figure it out.
YouTube, you definitely want to go to our YouTube page.
Yes. Please subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes,
Please
we need
subscribe.
we need to get up to 100 subscribers so that we can enable certain features that we'd like to have. But that would be super nice if you could do that. That would be great.
Totally.
Yeah, what do I know though? But then you can subscribe to the audio podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Pocket Casts. There's a whole bunch of places that you can subscribe.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over the place. So definitely, please.
Whatever your favorite is, we are there.
Yeah,
I think.
Generally that's the case. Yes, that has been the case so far. So. How are you, Katie?
I am well.
Are you?
I feel, I'm doing much better today than I have been all week, to be honest with you. I had one of those weeks that was like filled with a lot of anxiety, and a lot of it was like, I don't know why I'm feeling. It was kind of like a little roller coaster of a week. So I feel much better today than I have all week. So that's a bonus.
Yeah. We've been working on 2 other podcasts, by the way, everybody. We have one called After Dark, which is just where we get really drunk and, parenting after dark, when parents finally get to let loose kind of thing.
Exactly. Kids are in bed.
Literally whatever comes out kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no set script for that one. It's just kind of have a few drinks and then just chat about whatever.
Yeah, come hang out with us for those ones. Check that out. But the one that I think is going to be the best received is our other bonus podcast, which is called The Only Dirty Table.
I'm so excited for that one.
We did put up a preview on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yes, go check it out.
I think I shared it to Facebook and Twitter and all that, but go check it out. I'd like to think that it's very funny what we're going to be doing, because a lot of people are going to have, oh my God, that happened to me, and then stories of their own, and I really want people to send those in to us. But it's all about server stories, so in the food and beverage industry. But I'm sure a lot of people will be able to relate if they've done retail and that kind of stuff. So there'll be a lot of crossover.
Just customer service industry in general, but where you and I both have like our, I should say careers, but we had a career in the industry. You still are in the industry. So ours will be based on the restaurant business because that's where our expertise lies.
Yeah.
But if there's anything customer service related, we want to hear about it because I've never done retail. I mean, I did work at like a quick way store when I was in high school. I mean, it is customer service, but anyway, I would love to hear all of the other stories, but ours will definitely be based on the restaurant business, which I could, like I said to you before, like I could probably talk about that forever because there are just so many things.
I've been in the industry since I was 19, essentially. So
Me too.
how many years is that now? That's 17 years. Oh God, that's a
Let's
long
do the
time.
math that the kids do these days.
carry the 7. Wait, what? But yeah, I've been doing this for 17 years. A long time.
And I retired just before I hit 12 years.
Retired, quote. You became a paralegal and got a real job.
I
also hate that people call it a real job. We can't get into this right now. This is a...
No.
That was a sneak preview
We'll
of
save
some of the stuff we'll talk about on the podcast.
Yes.
But let's...
We're getting a little off topic. We're just excited about a couple new projects. So if you guys are interested,
become a patron.
Check it out.
Patreon.com/PaRANTing. That would be absolutely amazing if you could help support us there. That would be absolutely great. We'd really appreciate it. That said, let's move on, shall we?
Shalt we? Let's.
Shalt we? Shalt we not? Shalt we? Shalt we not?
How was your week, by the way? Actually, we never get to say how your week was.
My week was fine. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I had a lot of alcohol this week, which was great. I had Amelia a lot of the time. They did not cross over those things, just for the record. So, Amelia,
set that record.
I'm not like, oh God, Amelia's here. Give me that bottle, So it's, yesterday we went
that's
to the
what
mall.
kids are for. They go get the bottle for you, right?
Right.
That's why you put it on the bottom shelf in the fridge.
I have a sweet picture of her when she was like 2, trying to use a bottle opener to open a beer for me. It was awesome. And she's just like,
nice.
She was like, I'll find it and I'll put it up.
I'll figure it out
on Facebook or something.
Sweet. That'd be cute.
Or maybe on Instagram. I don't know. We'll put it up somewhere. But it's so funny. It's just like she's like trying to figure out how the bottle opener works, because it was fun for me because that was the week that she became heavy enough to physically open the fridge, because she didn't have enough body weight before to actually open the refrigerator.
Nice.
So, and that was the week she did. So I was like, "Can you get Papa a beer?" And she would go get me a beer and bring it to me.
That's so cute.
Which is, like Katie said, is why we have kids, right?
Right, totally.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of getting up and going to the fridge. Let's have a kid. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah. I thought we were moving on to the other parts of the podcast today, but apparently we're just gonna chill here in this spot, which is fine. In the news this week is going to be less news. Like last week we went news heavy because there was a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are a couple of things that I want to talk about this week in the news. So if we are okay with that, I'll slide back into that because we.
Yes, do your thing. I just wanted to know how your week was.
I know.
Let me love you.
All right, that's not weird at all.
We're family. We can like each other, I guess.
Speaking of
that's
family,
why we're doing this.
Your stepdaughter made us some awesome little pictures, and I'm going to put them up on the screen for everybody right now.
Oh my God, please do. I was going to remind you to do that today because I wore my hair up in a little bun because the picture she drew was with me with my glasses on and a little bun, so it's hard to see with the brown behind me, but
yeah.
Anyway, I thought that I was hoping you'd put it up so that they could see like the side by side.
Yeah,
they're
so
really cool.
There it is there now. Yeah. So if you're watching it, we did post them on our Instagram, so I reposted them with her permission.
Yeah.
With Jill's permission.
She put them on her Instagram, on her drawing Instagram.
So it's Jill.draws. Is that how it is? Or Jill Wish.draws? What's her Instagram handle?
Dang it.
I definitely, I should have asked you that prior.
No, yeah, I definitely have it. Let me just see.
But yeah, she has her own personal Instagram, but then she has the one she created just for like her drawings and stuff. And
it's jillwish.draws.
Jillwish.draws. So on Instagram at jillwish.draws, she drew these awesome little things for us. They're very cool. I really like
actually, you know what's funny? She was sitting next to me on the couch when she did mine. She was showing me, because she was doing a lot of this artwork and stuff, and she was showing me how she does it and like how she does the line work, and then she draws like another layer, because it's mostly for making animations, but she was doing drawings on it, so you do like layered things so you can have it like move and all of those. I don't know all the technicality, like she's very much into that and very good at it, but she decided she just took like a random picture that she had of me and kind of like got the line work, and then she just kind of colored it in and made it very well, like animated, right? And so then I said, that's awesome. I sent it to you, and then I got her to do one for one of you.
I really appreciate it. And she was working on one where one of the old pictures that you and I have, and she was working on that. Was she finished that?
I think the plan was, like, what she had said to me, because what I sent to you was like the outline, all the colors and everything were there. She spent a lot of time on like the details of like our sweaters and the shirt that you were wearing. It took her a really long time to do it. But I guess the thing that she was using, it's really hard to get, because the picture was kind of very small, not really great quality. It was really hard for her to actually do our faces, but she was able to do like your beard, goatee, whatever you had at the time. So I think the plan is to just leave it as is without the faces, but just it's like this. Anyway, I can send it to you and we can put it up just so people can have a look at it, because it's very cool.
Yeah, and we should put the side by side of like the original photo, because the original photo's quality was not good.
No, but I mean, it was also because it was at the Oasis, and it was like my 21st birthday, I think. So it was like over 10 years ago.
Was it? No, it wasn't.
I mean, it was yesterday.
Wait, how? Oh my God! Wait, it's 2019. It totally could have been 10 years ago. Holy crap! Oh my God!
It was 10 years ago. It was my 21st birthday. I am turning 32 this year.
Oh my God! Oh man!
Right? We got old real quick.
When did that happen?
I know, I'm telling you.
Oh, every week I tell another old man story about how I was being an old man.
Yes.
But
you know what? I actually sent to my one of the lawyers that I work with. We moved into a new building at work, and it's all very kind of high tech. The rooms are all very like, there's like a one thing on the wall, you control the lights, the heat, and all of that stuff, whatever. And every time we go into a meeting room, anytime we go into a meeting together, he's always constantly changing the temperature. And so so I sent him this thing, and it was called, it's just like a little thing I found on the internet, whatever. It says, The Walking Dad, but it's just a guy walking around the house, turning off the lights and muttering that he's not made of money. I'm like, you're that guy. You're that guy. Just walking around, turn this down.
Yeah.
Like, he even pays for it. It was just really funny.
That's super funny. That's like, because I do that at work too. The girls are like, I'm cold. Yeah. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you're just not. There's no way. Like, there's no way. It's like 23 degrees in there or something, and they'll be all upset about it.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot of the time. Like, a lot of the girlfriends I have, they are always cold. I am not one of those girls. I run hot all the time. Like, I'm always warm. Except for today, because our room is freezing for some reason. I don't know. There's just really bad.
Maybe Rod's turning down the heat because he's not made of money.
You know what? That's entirely possible.
I love that.
Yeah.
I live in an apartment where the heat isn't controlled inside. So last week there's somebody being evicted from the apartment upstairs, and he messed with the thermostat here, and so it was like it was 12 degrees in my apartment because it's minus 30
right.
outside.
It's like you and Amelia
were
were like frozen.
Yeah. And so like we're curled up under a blanket trying to figure out like what's going on. I'm texting with my landlord, and he's like, well, I'm in Vancouver at the moment, I can't really do anything about it, but I went upstairs, and the side of the where the thermostat was pried open, and somebody had he had purposely set the temperature to mess with us. So
people are great.
Yeah,
aren't
sometimes. Speaking of people being great, did you read that story about the 6-year-old that
about the dog?
Yeah, he explains why dogs don't live as long as humans?
No, I didn't read that.
That broke
Shame
my
on
heart
me.
in such a happy way.
Oh, okay, tell me about it.
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. It's a veterinarian is telling this story, and there's an old dog. They bring it in, and they're trying to figure out how to save this dog, and they have to explain to the kid, like, they're going to have to put the dog down, and they're trying to figure out, like, how to explain to the kid how dogs don't live as long as humans and why that is.
Right.
And the kid said that he knew why. And so all the adults were like, oh, what? And he said, people are born so that they can learn how to live a good life, like loving everybody all the time and being nice, right? Well, dogs do that and know how to do that already, so they don't have to stay for as long as we do.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That just hit me right in the feels.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Wow. God damn. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Freaking kids.
Kids are great. Like, there was another story I posted where there's this guy with this picture of a little plush
The goldfish
Nemo.
or the fish?
The little clownfish. And
Yes,
this is Chester, and when he tells the story about he was in Afghanistan, there's that whole Adopt a Soldier program where, like, families mail stuff to soldiers, and
which is awesome.
This kid said, he protects me from monsters, and maybe he can protect you from the monsters you're fighting over there. And the guy's like, you better believe that was in my pocket every patrol.
You know what? That's fantastic. That is so sweet, and it's almost it makes me think of the when a kid hands you a toy phone, you damn well answer it. It's like one of those things. Like yes, it's so pure. Their intentions are so pure.
Right, and you buy into whatever it is that they're doing.
You're like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. So the other day, Amelia hands me toys, and she's like, "You're Pua now," because she has a little plush Pua toy from the Moana movie, the little pig. So you're Pua now. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Love that.
And she goes, "Yeah, you control him, and I'm going to control Toothless." And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be so sweet and lovely." And she's like, "Toothless is a dragon. He's going to eat Pua." And I was like, "Wait, what?" this escalated quickly. Yeah. So
wasn't ready.
Yeah, I was left turn. I was not ready for that. So
Just been hanging around you too much. All the left turns.
I'm telling you.
That's our life.
All right, so let's get to the in the news stuff. Yes.
Yes.
Because
let's get in the news.
Get in the newses because. Hold on. That's my button. The thing that happened this week, that there was a video of Volkswagen aired a commercial, actually.
Right.
That was
basically in response to...
No, the Volkswagen commercial came out at the same time. It was not in response to the Gillette thing.
Oh.
But it was like the exact opposite. I think I posted the Volkswagen one to our Facebook page. I don't think I posted the other one that we will talk about in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I'll catch up. Please continue. I'll get there.
You'll get there? Will you? Really?
Well, I mean, I can't guarantee anything, to be honest with you.
Okay, so for half a second, I want to just play that ad, and then we'll talk about it. So remember, the Gillette ad was, hey man, we can do better. Like, let's raise our standards and all this stuff. And at the same time, this ad played, and it was the least offensive of the two this week. So we'll play this one, and we'll be right back after
Sounds
this.
Good.
Zach.
Poor Uncle Edward. He's passed away 6 times this year. We don't even have an Uncle Edward. And yet, somehow, I think this is what he would have wanted.
The Volkswagen Atlas. More room means more fun.
Zach.
Poor Uncle Edward. He's passed.
Sorry, I think that played like it started to play the second time. The point is,
Oops.
yeah. Well, anyway, it's just encouraging your children that lying is a great way to get out of, and lessening the importance of school and education so that they can go to the amusement park with their family 6 times that year. Mm-hmm. Right? It was. I mean, that's just irresponsible parenting.
It's irresponsible advertising. It's like in that meeting room, whose idea was it to say, you know what would be great is if we showed kids that lying to get out of school or work, whatever, but in this case, school, to go and have fun is a good idea. I don't understand how you, as a large company, obviously, like Volkswagen is not unheard of. It's just, I don't
huge.
understand where that happened. I don't understand where they went, how they got there is kind of what I'm trying to say. I don't really understand that.
Yeah, I am uncertain also how, you launch an ad like that and think this will be positive. Now I get they were just, oh, this will be funny. It's funny. And it is funny if you just look at it objectively. But in the context of all the other crap that's happening right now, was that a great idea?
I agree. I think, no, you know what? You're right. I agree with you on that. I feel like, yes, it is. It does. It has, like, it's supposed to be funny. And I do get that. Like, it's not supposed to be outwardly, like, offensive and teaching kids to do, lie. But you're right. It's the timing of it all. I think that was really what screwed them over. Yeah. Or I shouldn't say screwed them over, but like where the negativity would come from, I guess, is what I mean.
Exactly. I just, and my dad, who is like a veteran of the Navy, and he's been around for a long time, and he doesn't typically get butthurt over stuff, but he was just like, yeah, that's not okay. Like, this is just a poor example of being a parent, telling your kids that school's not important. It's telling your kids that lying is an effective way to get what you want. It's. And right now in the time of where everything is just being super, like, picked apart, I just think that was a poor decision to have made.
Just a bad judgment call for sure.
Absolutely.
And I was really hoping 2019 was going to be this year that you and I have agreed that 2019 is the year of you do you, right?
Yeah. Until then Gillette did the thing.
We're not off to a great start.
Yeah.
It's. Yeah, it's like I think it's 2018 is just leaking in, just a little overflow. There was a lot that was going on. I think there's a little bit of an overflow happening here, but I think you're right. I think a lot of it is just, it's bad choices in that industry, the timing of everything. It kind of just, when you already have people that are pissed off about stuff and then you throw that in there, it's just bad idea.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's get into the next one, because the next one's worse. And I'm not going to play it because
you have to watch it.
So Egard Watches launched an ad that literally read, the name of their ad was, "What is a man? A response to Gillette."
Right.
And because Gillette was all about, like, the best a man can be, right? And then it's, what is a man? And then it spews all of these statistics, which are incredibly misleading. Mm-hmm. So I was very annoyed by that, because it's like, okay, first of all, if you're butthurt by the Gillette thing, the problem is with you, not with Gillette. Secondly, the response to it pandered directly to people who don't understand and furthers misunderstanding. about what it means to be a man. It not only did it like say, oh well, no, men are fine. It's like, here's a whole bunch of statistics that are skewed and misrepresented and all this shit. For instance, there was a stat there where it said like 79% of all homicide victims are men.
Right.
But they don't show you that 98% of homicide are committed by men. And they are disproportionately targeting women.
Right. They're basically saying that the response to it was almost like they were saying that Gillette was saying that all men are shit. And their response was saying, I'm not... Basically what they're trying to portray almost is that men are either the victim to certain statistics like homelessness and all of those other things, but then it's just the way that they went about it. It was almost like they were trying to defend men, and it's like the commercial was not to put men down, and if their like, response to
the Gillette ad literally says, we believe in the best in men.
Yeah.
So let's help those that are struggling to be better men.
Right.
So if you're not a shitty man, that's fine. You're not part of the problem. You're not who this ad is saying. Like,
you're not who we're talking about.
Well, but they kind of are, because they're like, you need to step up and stop these bad men from doing bad things. Mm-hmm. But the way it was represented in this Egard ad is that you would think that Gillette said all men suck and they should be put down or something like that.
Yes, I agree.
The stat about suicide, male suicides, disproportionate. Like, suicide victims are way more men than women. I would say that toxic masculinity is the reason that is a thing, because it's not, quote, manly to seek help. It's not, quote, manly to figure out what's wrong and take care of that. Go see a doctor. Go see the doctor. Ah, you pussy. Man up.
That's, you know what? That's an excellent point. It really is, because when you think about it, it's like, yes, the statistic could be true, but I think you're absolutely right, because even in this day and age, it is still almost instilled in men that you can't have feelings, basically. Like, no, you're not allowed to talk about your feelings. You're not allowed to cry. Like, it's still 100% is, you know, a lot of what society still is, even though we like to think that we are beyond it, we're not.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that we, as a society, we need to exactly what Gillette said, is raise men up, make people more aware of their actions, so that just because I'm a good guy doesn't mean that I don't occasionally do shitty things. And that's what people miss a lot in this whole thing, is that not every guy is nobody's perfect. That's what we should start with. But right. Just because you're a good guy doesn't mean you're not doing shitty things. And if you are a good guy and you have friends who do shitty things, you need to tell them, like, step up.
Right.
So that's what it comes down to. And I think the Egard ad completely flips that on its head and says, men are fine the way they are, and we're the victim here.
100%. That's exactly, when I saw that, that's exactly how it made me feel. Like they were saying, the men are the victims. Here are all these stats to prove why we are right. And essentially, is what
it's men trying to play the Me Too card.
Yeah. Which
is not okay.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just some white dude in Winnipeg.
No, you know what? It is. It's hard to watch. It was hard for me to watch that, because it made me very confused, having already seen, like, having watched the Gillette thing, and we talked about it last week. And if you're listening, then if you also watched the Gillette ad, and then if you haven't seen this one, you definitely go have a look at it. But it almost made me feel a little icky inside. You know what I mean? It kind of was like, I don't like that they're doing this, and there's something just not right about it. I did not feel the same way when I watched the Gillette thing. Like, I don't know. It just feels like the message that was coming across was very negative. They were trying to pump guys up, if that was their intention, but it did not, for me, it did not work at all.
No, I for them to miss the mark by that much is a big deal. And I really
Yeah.
think, because I think I'm a good guy. I think. Have I done shitty things? Yes. Have I learned from those? Most of the time, yes. I would like to think that I'm continually finding things about myself that I can make better.
Right, which everyone is, I think.
Yes, and this is pointing at one that society needs men to change, because only men can make that change, being the men themselves.
Right.
And unfortunately, society is run by men, typically. It should not be that way, but it's every time that a woman or a person of color is, like, sometimes too. Sometimes it's just the white man. Not that this isn't a race thing. Let's leave the race out of it for a second.
Yeah.
But the people in power don't want to give up the power. So when women start gaining that traction, it becomes problematic for the people in power because they're losing some of that power. So sometimes the hate and all that is rhetoric spewed to stop women from taking their power, not because they necessarily hate women. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter what your reasoning for being a shitty person is. Just don't be a shitty person.
Right. I agree. And, I'm just sorry, like, as you were talking, I'm just thinking, because you are a father to a little girl, and Rod is also, in my world, we have 2 girls. So, I know that the Gillette ad was very much towards raising young men to be more respectful, but also other men calling out other men when they are being disrespectful, whether it's towards women or other people, etc. But it just makes me think of how we raise our girls too, though, to also be respectful, but also not to put up with shit either from men or other people in the world, like men and women.
100%.
So, yeah, like, it makes me really, because I don't know. I'm a girl. Not sure if anyone noticed, but just throwing that out there. I definitely identify as female.
We're going to have to take a pause at the moment. Okay?
Okay.
I have to answer a phone call that we're getting here, and I'll edit this out later.
Okay.
Okay. Pins.
What about our live feed?
That's exactly it. I'm going to put it to live recording screen. Sorry, guys.
Are we still live?
We're live now.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I was talking to you, so I said hi to Editing Adam.
Oh, I didn't have my headphones on, so I couldn't...
No, I know. That's why I said hi to Editing Adam, because I know you couldn't hear me.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. My daughter's mom showed up to get her snow pants, which I don't have. So, I don't know why she thought I had those. So
I don't know. I did comment on your pajama pants, though.
I love my pajama pants.
I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying it's like a sign of a hangover. You know that you're hungover when you're just PJing it up. But it is Saturday, so.
Well, I don't put on real pants on Saturdays until I have to go to work, and I work at like 5. So Saturdays are just pajama pants all day.
Fair. It's fair.
Anyway, sorry. We were talking about some important stuff, and I had to.
So rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry. This is me smiling for the folks listening to the audio podcast. So
if you can't hear it, he's smiling.
Yeah, in case you can't see it through the audio podcast.
I was just saying, I was just saying about how a lot of what we were talking about is how we raise young men, but then I also think about with raising daughters and young women and whatnot, that we also have to really think about how we raise them to, I don't want to say necessarily deal with certain things, but I feel like there's a certain responsibility to make them aware of certain things, to make them, you want to try and make them a very, it's hard to raise confident women. We all have like our insecurities just as much as men do as well. But you want to, as much as you can, instill in them some, you want them to make good decisions, just like any child you want. But I feel like, I think about I don't know if maybe other people agree with me, but I still feel like there's a lot of what you call catcalling these days. I've definitely experienced it myself quite often, and I feel uncomfortable when I get up to, say, like a construction site that I walk by on a daily basis, in the summertime. Because last summer when I was working at my new job, I have like a 15, 20-ish minute walk to work after I get off of the bus. And there's quite a few construction sites. And there's a lot of, mostly men that are working there. And there has been things said to me on the street. And sometimes you feel like you want to just yell at them. And then other times I just ignore them and walk faster. And, I feel like that's something that you need to talk about with your daughters. Like, obviously at a certain age or whatever, but like not even meaning necessarily that type of thing, but just the fact that some men feel like they can just say whatever they want to you. And
it comes down to, because I have a daughter.
Yes.
I have to be a good man to be an example of what she should expect a man to be.
Exactly.
I have to be a good man and raise her so that she can protect herself from the bad guys out there. But if we're raising the men to be better, there's less protection that needs to happen.
Agreed. I agree.
And yeah, I'm super upset at this bullshit Egard watch ad, because it's basically telling men you're fine. And guess what? Men are not fine. The way that men behave and act, and it's not fucking fine. It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
I agree. 100% agree.
And the way that I have seen friends and acquaintances treat women sometimes is not okay. I have some great friends who treat their women and women that they know with respect, and they're courteous and chivalrous and all of that. Mm-hmm. But I have witnessed some really brutal shit, and I have spoken up sometimes, but there are times where I should have and did not. Right. And that's what Gillette's trying to tell us. Like, hey, let's do better. Like, let's raise our standards. And this Egard watch ad is like, no, men are fine. We'll take your money now. Fuck Gillette.
Yeah. Oh,
they're
I
catering
watching
to the
it
lowest.
was hard.
Yeah, they're catering to the lowest common denominator as far as society is concerned, and I'm really upset by that. As a guy who has a daughter, I am a man. I've had some hard looks at myself, especially since this whole Gillette thing came up, and I definitely can do better. Yeah. And if you're a man out there and you think you can't, then you know what? You have to change you. Nobody can change you. If you think you're perfect, first of all, you're fucking wrong. And second of all, you can make yourself realize that you need to change.
Right. And it comes down to the people who were offended by the ad, that they took it as an attack, and that those are the people who really need to reevaluate, I think.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm sorry I got really upset there. It's just like, it's fucking bullshit to think as a guy that like it's fine to continue forward the way we are. Look at what the fuck is happening in society. Look at all the Me Too cases that are coming out and that are turning out to be true. Right? Yeah. How terrifying is that if you're a woman, that it took this long to get somebody to believe that this guy might have done a thing to me 20 some odd years ago, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, sorry, I'm just sitting here thinking. I was listening to I listen to podcasts sometimes at work when I'm either working on some like mindless stuff that I just need to have something, and sometimes a lot of the time now, instead of going to music, I go to podcasts. So sometimes maybe a podcast too. Anyway, I was listening to Dax Shepard has a podcast, and it's the Armchair Expert, and he had Jay Leno on his podcast. And there was a part at some point in the podcast where he talked about the industry, like Hollywood industry and all of that stuff. And like when we talked about the Me Too movement, a lot of the Hollywood scene is a big part of that, how you get your career and blah, blah, blah. And he had mentioned something about when he started in the industry, you know, as a comedian and stuff, and he was going to be there was some guy that basically was like a ruse, right? The guy was like, oh, well, you need to make sure you sign up in the union, so you need to go see so and so and blah blah blah. And so he did, you know, he's young and whatever, and the guy was like, oh, you need to pay like some sort of dues, and he did. He ended up having to pay the guy like $75 or something back then. And so he went back to his other guy saying, oh, I, you know, got my union card or whatever. And the guy was like, oh my God, like you actually fell for it. That's so funny. How much did so-and-so take you for? Right. And he's like, in that moment, I was so ashamed and embarrassed that I like fell for it, that I did that just to try and get my career going, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but then he's like, with all of this stuff coming out, he's like, I really sympathize with these women. He's like, because I've never talked. He's like, until I made it big and got famous, I never spoke about it. He's like, I never talked about it because I was so embarrassed. And he's like, so I sympathize with these women who, when people say they're just coming out with this shit now and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I didn't either. He's like, I was so embarrassed that I did that to try and further my career. And I thought that was really noteworthy.
Yeah, and it's obviously sexual assault, fraud for $75, not on par. But it's like, if you put that into context, it makes sense. Right.
And that's what he was saying. He wasn't saying they were on anywhere near the same level.
Yeah.
He was just saying when you do things, whatever it may be, or whatever, or if something happened to you, he's like, that made me, he's like, you know, even as a man, but he's like, it made me sympathize and really understand that thought process. It wasn't really comparing those two as the same. It was more of, he had an appreciation for what happened and how it made him feel, and that he didn't talk about it. He's like, it just made him not just jump to conclusions saying, well, they're lying kind of thing. That's all it meant. He wasn't really saying that they were the same at all. It was just the comparison of how it made him feel, and, you know, kind of the same, I don't know, just how he dealt with it, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, totally off topic, but I just wanted to bring it up.
Not really off topic. Kind of like it, because the whole point of all of this stuff is how we make others feel. When we bully a kid that's weaker than us, when we sexually assault a woman, when we, whatever it is that we do that's considered negative, toxic behavior, it's about how it affects the other person, how that other person is never going to be the same after that.
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing is about. And that's the point that I think Egard Watches and everybody who's offended by the Gillette ad, I think that's what everybody's missing, is it's not fucking about you.
Yeah.
You self-involved piece of shit. It's about the people around you. It's about how you affect others. It's about, and in particular, our kids. And the reason that we're talking about it on this PaRANTing podcast is because we're talking about how it affects the next generation of human beings that we are raising right now.
Yes.
How is this going to affect my 4-year-old daughter when she is 14 and walking around the street? You have a 14-year-old in your house right now. How is it affecting her now? How would you like her to be treated when she's 24? Let's talk about the future and making it better for the kids that we're raising now. That's what it's about. Fuck everybody who says that they're attacking all men, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not. And if you took it that way, you're part of the fucking problem. And we talked about that last week. But this Egard thing, it takes the whole thing and makes it a joke. It makes it a joke. And it's extra frustrating when you got men trying to figure out a way to justify the behavior that they have. Oh, well, 79% of people who get murdered are men, so that means we can do 79% of the sexual harassing too. It's like that's not that's not how it is. It's, you know, if somebody stabs someone, it's like would you rather get shot or stabbed, right? Like, it's kind of like both of those are bad things. Like, saying that getting shot is bad doesn't make getting stabbed good.
Yeah.
Do you see the compare, like the?
I see what you're doing. Yeah, no, I 100%. I feel like I agree. Like, I agree with you, and I feel like kind of sometimes when it does come to societal things, that it's, you know, when someone tries to do something good for the world, whatever, for people, men, women, whatever it might be, it's like there's that one thing that kind of 2 steps forward, and then something like that happens, and it's like another step back, and it's like we're trying to get there, and then there's still those pieces of shit people who are just trying to hang on to like the 1940s or 50s mentality. And it's like, bro, you got to fucking let that shit go. But it's other generations raising their kids that way. And it's just incredibly frustrating. Like, we're not ever going to be, well, I shouldn't say we're never going to be. I can't imagine us being the whole entire world at peace. That's to me unrealistic. However, we can be better. All of us, men and women, we can all be better and do better. So that was the whole point. And it just I understand your frustration. It's just very annoying to have something what's supposed to be positive and, forward kind of movement to be just sabotaged by some bullshit from a watch company.
And so many people jumped on that, and it had like hundreds of thousands of likes and only like a couple of thousand dislikes. That's the fucking problem too, is people support, like people are like, oh yeah, like and just the comments that people made on the YouTube page. Never, by the way, go down the YouTube rabbit hole. Never read comments in YouTube. I know better.
It's a scary spot for sure.
It's the worst. It's like. I can't.
I know. Well, we can. You know what? We spent a lot of time on this. We spent a lot of time on it last week too.
Yeah,
it was just because that came up and it just kind of resurfaced. I think everything,
and it made it worse, in my opinion. So,
I agree. I really do agree with you. It's just incredibly frustrating, and we started this podcast to just talk and rant about things, and this is just one of those things. So, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. But I shouldn't say totally fine. You're entitled to your own opinion and whatever. However,
but when your opinion starts to hinder on the freedoms of other people and the safety of other people, then your opinion is no longer valid. That's how it works.
Right, and that's fair.
So that said, do you have your 3 tweets chosen?
Are we ready?
No.
We're here? How long have we been doing this? Like 14 hours?
Like a while.
Okay. We did get on a kind of a rant today, didn't we? I feel bad because there wasn't really any super positive things to talk about this week, but it was just one of those weeks. Not every week is going to be uplifting and hilarious, Yeah. Hilarious?
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
You're so funny. You are the hilarious one.
Oh my good Lord. So, yes, I do have, there was a couple that actually, can I talk about one thing?
Before we get to the top tweets?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you mind?
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was talking to Rod earlier this week at some point, and he was like, this is something really good for your podcast. And what it is that he told me this, and I was like, that can't be true. And apparently it is true. But anyway, McDonald's is the largest distributor of toys in the world. And like by far, it says 20% of all sales at McDonald's include a toy, with one being passed out with every Happy Meal. So they're the largest toy distributor.
That's crazy.
In the world.
That never occurred to me.
Right? Me neither. And I was like, that's insane. It's a thing. I just thought that was so crazy because, I get it, like for sure. It's not something I ever really thought about. And I don't know if anyone else really thought about it either because, when you buy your kids toys, whether it's, Walmart or Target or whatever, Toys R Us isn't a thing anymore, right? So
no, it is not a thing.
Anyway, I just thought that was a weird fun fact and was like a WTF moment, I think. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that. I get it, I guess, Anyway, just a little fun fact for the day, in case you were wondering.
I was not wondering, but now I know. Okay, so I'm going to play a quick ad, and then we'll be back, and we'll do the top tweets, yeah?
Sounds great.
The ad is from our friends over at the Intoxicated podcast.
Yes!
Y'all,
go check her out, too. She's hilarious.
Yes, and they've got new episodes every Friday night. They get real drunk and talk about stuff. And, yeah, it's good. So we'll play this ad, and we will be right back.
Awesome.
You ever wish you could record your drunk conversations? Well, that's what I do on the Intoxicated podcast. Every Friday, I talk to friends, comedians, and various guests while drinking to showcase the conversations you'd only have at the back booth of a bar with close friends. It's a weekly drunk, heart-to-heart variety talk show and therapy session. Subscribe to the Intoxicated podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. That's Intoxicated, spelled T-A-L-K. Cheers. Do you ever wish you could record
Hello,
your drunk
and we're back.
conversations?
Okay, top
Well, that's
tweets.
what
Let's
I
do
do
this.
on the Intoxicated podcast. Every Friday, I
okay,
talk to
so
friends,
this one is
comedians, and
for
various
all of
guests
you
while drinking
parents out
to showcase
there
the
who,
conversations you'd
have
only have at the
preteens,
back booth of a bar with
teens,
close
or
friends.
if
It's a
not,
weekly
something
drunk,
to
heart-to-heart
Still
variety
playing in the
talk show
background 'cause
and
I'm
therapy
smart like a
session.
dump truck.
You know what? I swear to God.
Listen, I didn't say I was
Listen.
good at stuff. There's a lot happening, and I'm trying to host and do that.
I know. You know what? You're doing a great job.
Okay.
You really are. I couldn't
sorry.
do it. You know this.
Preteens you were talking about.
Yes. Yes. So this one is, it was tweeted by @lunchboxdad. And he said, I think God gives preteens eye rolls and attitudes so that parents don't get too nostalgic about our kids growing up too fast.
Say that again? That hurt my brain.
God gives preteens eye rolls and attitudes so that parents get too nostalgic about kids growing up too fast.
Ah, right. Yes.
It's not as funny the second time.
No, I like my brain was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I have an attitude? No, the preteen has an attitude. Okay, I get it.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. They're not all gonna land, Katie.
And that's it. That's okay.
That tweet, it was funny. I missed it. It was on me. It's on me. Just because I didn't get it doesn't mean that it was wrong or not funny.
it's-
Like the Gillette ad. Just because some people didn't get it doesn't mean that it's not important.
Agreed.
Okay?
Right? We're all
Sorry.
learning here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move forward.
Okay, so the next one that I have for you is was tweeted by @NickFit75, but her name on Instagram is Inappropriate Mom. So I appreciate that.
Fair. That I feel like that is you, but that's fine.
Okay, yeah, it's true. I was gonna get offended, but I'm like, nah, I can't get offended. Okay, so her tweet was, "Today's win. I finally trained my phone to quit autocorrecting to duck when you use the word fuck." She's like, "Today's loss. I just texted my 11-year-old that he's the lucky fuck."
That's
Me.
excellent.
That's me.
That's
That's all me.
Yeah. You're like, I've solved the problem. I have created a new problem.
When I first read that, I laughed pretty hard, probably harder than I should have. But it just in the context of when you think you did something good and then you you text your 11-year-old that he's a lucky fuck. Like, I think that's just fantastic. I think for me though, the girls probably wouldn't even faze them at this point. I think they just be like, sounds about right.
Well, yeah, they would just assume you meant to send them that.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, absolutely. Okay, so I'm kind of going in between two, but I'll go with the one that has to do with a 4-year-old because, I mean, you have a 4-year-old. This one was tweeted by Clint Edwards @by Clint Edwards. Sorry, but his name on here is No Idea Daddy Blog.
That's all of us.
Fair.
That's all the dads. But yeah,
Love that.
we're all making
Love
shit
that.
up.
That's our esque, you know. That's our vibe that we're having here. No idea. Not sure what we're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it was really cute. He just said, "My 4-year-old talks a lot of smack for someone wearing Crocs on the wrong feet."
First of all, the wrong feet thing is a problem for Amelia. We got her these boots that light up, and when she moves and they're on the wrong feet, they light up into the middle. And I'm like, it's pretty easy for you to tell when they're on right or wrong.
The lights go on the outside.
But she'll do the thing where she'll put them on wrong, and I'll say, "Hey, your boots are on the wrong feet." She goes, "I meant to do it that way.
Of course.
They're more comfortable this way." And the next time she
course.
puts them on, she'll put them on right.
Exactly. But how dare you?
How dare I
Judge
accuse her?
Yes.
Anyway, what do I know?
It's the same old thing when you said before when she put her underwear on backwards. It's just you talk a lot of smack for someone who can't dress themselves.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, when you can successfully wipe your own ass every single time, then you can talk shit.
Yeah. Then we'll talk.
Until then, you're just a little shit. You know?
Exactly.
It's fine.
Exactly.
I love.
Anyway,
Light
hopefully that
Audio.
lightened a little bit of the mood, guys. Today it was a
Yeah,
little
I
bit of a.
got really riled up there. I apologize.
That is quite all right. That is what this is here for. I mean, sometimes some of these podcasts just may not be your jam that day. You know what? We've got 6 other ones you can watch that are probably right up your alley.
Yes. 6 other ones they can listen to. Not all of them are available in video format. I think we started video format episode 4.
Yes. This is our 3rd one, so yeah. Math says yes.
That's not how math works, because this is the 3rd one. Then we started week 5.
But this is number 7.
Yes, 5, 6, 7, dear.
Oh shit. God damn it.
You got to do that new math. Got to do the new math.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking 7 minus 3 is 4, you know.
I know what you
I'll be
were
all right.
thinking. That doesn't make you right.
No, 100%. And I actually had coffee today, of all things. Normally I wouldn't do this if I hadn't had coffee yet, but I did. I had 2 coffees.
Well, lady.
Having a time.
Yeah, you're doing your own thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but
I don't know. Anyway, if you stuck with us this long, guys, thank you.
Yes.
And hopefully you have a fantastic rest of the weekend / when this goes up tomorrow, have a great Sunday.
Yes, queen.
Yes.
Again, I just want to remind you, facebook.com/PaRANTing, Twitter @PaRANTingPod, Instagram @PaRANTingPodcast, Snapchat PaRANTing. Still not sure how that works. I told you at the beginning.
We'll figure it out.
We might figure it out. Just follow us in case we do. YouTube, please go subscribe. That will help us out immensely. Share every little thing you can from us, if you can. Please, please. And obviously go subscribe to all the audio podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on iTunes if you're on your desktop, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Pocket Casts. I'm missing some. Anyway,
there's a lot.
It don't matter. Just go listen wherever fine podcasts are served. So go do that. We really appreciate it. And the biggest thing that can help us out is, even if you don't become a patron, share our Patreon page, please. Patreon.com/PaRANTing. That is the best way to help us get a leg up. Also, just a note for folks out there: if you are aware of anybody who wants to sponsor a podcast, we are looking for on-air sponsors to sponsor each episode. That would be awesome. Get in touch with us, PaRANTing @markadam.ca.
Yes. And also, you know, when you mentioned earlier is that we are doing a couple of different new type semi-podcasts aside from this one.
Yes.
So they are going to be awesome for sure. But if you like this podcast, then, you know, I mean, the After Dark one is just literally this, but with drinks.
Yes, this but intoxicated.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to put all my words together and make it a thing, and you're going to giggle or you're going to be mad at me. But either way, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good time. We also, like we said, it has the serving life type one, which is going to be awesome.
Yes, the only dirty table. It's basically, if you follow the hashtag server life, chances are you will really enjoy that podcast.
100%.
So get on board with that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're going to be coming up with a lot of kind of really cool stuff. We're still figuring it out, but just the fact that you guys are listening and supporting us and liking our stuff is awesome, and we super appreciate it. So, and also, if you guys have feedback for us, I mean, please leave a comment or review or whatever. If you didn't like something, if you really liked something, it's only going to help us make this so much better and easier. I mean, we're still kind of a train wreck, but you know, this is adulthood, so welcome aboard.
I would say I take offense to that, but it's too true.
Too true. Too true to be offended, really.
So, again, I'm Mark Adam.
KTG.
We will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/PaRANTing. We would really love your support. It would mean a lot to us. You get a whole bunch of really cool extras and other series that we do aside from just talking about parenting. So please go check that out. It's we would greatly appreciate it again.